Kunja Bihari Jaya Kunja Bihari Raja Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Bala Vivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Bala Vivaradari Gopi Jana Bala Hare Gora Punade. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nastapresya Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavati Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhakti Bhagavati Naistiki. So we will be reading from 10th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 1, verse 14, 30, 40. So the whole The whole 10th canto is about the pastime of Sri Krishna. Sutta Uvacha Evam Nisamya Vigu Nandana Sadhu Bhagam Vaiyasaki Sa Bhagavan Atha Vishnu Ratam Pratyarchaya Krishna Charitam Kali Kalmasa Yinam Vyahartum Arabata Bhagavata Pradhanam Sutta Uvacha Evam Nisamya Vigu Nandana Sadhuvadam Vaishaki Sa Bhagavan Atha Vishmuratam Tacchaya Krishna Charitam Kali Kalmasadnam Vyahartum Arabata Bhagavata Pradana Sutta Uvacha Evam Nisamya Vigu Nandana Sadhuvadam Vaisaki Sa Bhagavan Artha Vishmuratam Pratyarchya Krishna Charitam Kalikal Masajnam Vyahartum Arabhata Bhagavata Pradana Sutta Uvacha Evam Nisamya Vigu Nandana Sadhuvadam Vaisaki Sa Bhagavan Atha Vishmuratam Pratyarchya Krishna Charitam Kalikal Masajnam Vyahartum Arabhata Bhagavata Pradana Sutta Uvacha Evam Nisamya Vigu Nandana Sadhuvadam Vaisaki Sa Bhagavan Atha Vishmuratam Acharya Krishna Charitam Kali Kalmasadnam Vyahartum Arabhata Bhagavata Pradana
Sutta
Uvacha
Nisamya Virgunandana Sadhubana Badam
Evam Nisamya Vigu Nandana Sadhuvadam
Vaiyasaki Sa Bhagavan Atha Vishmuratam
Vaisaki Sa Bhagavan Atha Vishmuratam
Pratyarchaya Krishna Charitam Kalikal Masajnam
Pratyarchya Krishna Charitam Kali Kalmasajnam
Vyahartum Arabhata Bhagavata Pradana
Vyahartum Arabhata Bhagavata Pradana
Sutta Uvacha Evam Nisamya Vigu Nandana Sadhuvadam
Evam Nisamya Vigu Nandana Sadhuvadam
Vaisaki Sa Bhagavan Ata Vishnurattam
Vaisakhi sa Bhagavan Ata Vishnurattam
Pratyacharya Krishna Charitam Kalikalmasagnam
Acharya Krishna Charitam Kali Kalmasagnam
Yahartum Arabhata Bhagavata Pradanaha
Yartum Arabhata Bhagavata Pradana
Suta uvacha
Sutta Uvacha
Evam nisamya Vargunandana sadhuvadam
Evam Nisamya Virgunandana Sadhuvadam
Vaya sapi sa Bhagavan Ata Vishnurattam
Vaisakhi sa Bhagavan Ata Vishnurattam
Atabhya Krishna Charitam Kalikalmasagnam
Acharya Krishna Charitam Kali Kalmasagnam
Yartum Arabhata Bhagavata Pradana
Yartum Arabhata Bhagavata Pradana
Sutta Uvacha
Sutta Uvacha
Evam Nisaya Virgunandana Sadhuvadam
Evam Nisamya Virgunandana Sadhuvadam
Vayasaki sa Bhagavan Atu Vishnurattam
Vaisakhi sa Bhagavan Ata Vishnurattam
Tatyarcha Krishna Charitam Kalikalmasagnam
Acharya Krishna Charitam Kali Kalmasagnam
Yahartum Arabhata Bhagavata Pradana
Yartum Arabhata Bhagavata Pradana Sutta Uvacha Evam Nisamya Virgunandana Sadhuvadam Vaisakhi sa Bhagavan Ata Vishnurattam Acharya Krishna Charitam Kali Kalmasagnam Yartum Arabhata Bhagavata Pradana
Sutta Uvacha
Sutta Uvacha
Evam nisamyam Vrigunanda sadhuvadam
Evam Nisamya Virgunandana Sadhuvadam
Maya Saki sa Bhagavata Vishnurattam
Vaisakhi sa Bhagavan Ata Vishnurattam
Acharya Krishna Charitam Kalikalmasanam
Acharya Krishna Charitam Kali Kalmasagnam
Yahartum Arabhata Bhagavata Pradanaha
Yartum Arabhata Bhagavata Pradana Sutta Uvacha Sutta Goswami says Evam Nishamya Hiri Vrigunandana Osana Trigu Dynasty Saunaka Saudivadam Vice question Vaisakhi Sukadeva Goswami the son of Vyasadeva Sa He Bhagavan the most powerful Atha Vyas Vishnuratam Anto Parikshit Maharaj who was always protected by Vishnu
Who is always protected by Vishnu.
Pracharya offering him respectful obeisances
Offering respectful obeisances.
Krishna Charitam
Charitam.
topics of Lord Krishna
Topics of Lord Krishna.
Kali Kalmasagnam
Kalikalmasagnam.
which diminishes the troubles of this age of Kali
Which eliminates the trouble of this age of Kali.
Yahartum
Yahartum.
to describe
Describe.
Arabhata
Arabhata.
began
Began.
Bhagavata Pradana
Bhagavatana.
Sukadeva Goswami
Sukadeva Goswami.
the chief among pure devotees.
The chief among pure devotees.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Jai Shri Prabhupada. Suta Goswami said, O son of Briti, after Sukadeva Goswami, the most respectable devotee, the son of Vyasadeva, heard the pious questions of Maharaj Pariksit. He thanked the king with great respect. Then he began to discourse on topics concerning Krishna, which are the remedy for all sufferings in this age of Kali. Let us repeat. Suta Goswami said, O son of Ritu, after Sukadeva Goswami, the most respectable devotee, the son of Vyasadeva, heard the pious questions of Maharaj Pariksit. He thanked the king with great respect. Then he began to discourse on topics concerning Krishna, which are the remedy for all sufferings in this age of Kali. Purport. In this verse, the words Krishna Charitam Kali Kalmasya indicate the activities of Lord Krishna are certainly the greatest panacea for all misery, especially in this age of Kali. It is said that in Kali Yuga, people have only short lives and they have no culture of the spiritual consciousness. If anyone is at all interested in spiritual culture, he is misled by many bogus swamis and yogis who do not refer to Krishna Katha. Therefore, most people are unfortunate and disturbed by many calamities. Srila Vyasadeva prepared Srimad Bhagavatam at the request of Narada Muni in order to give relief to the suffering people of this age. Kalikal Masagna. The Krishna consciousness movement is seriously engaged in enlightening people through the pleasing topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. All over the world, the message of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita is being accepted in all spheres of life, especially in advanced educated circles. Srila Sukadeva Goswami is described in this verse as Bhagavata Pradhana, whereas Maharaj Pariksit is described as Vishnurata. Both words bear the same meaning, that is, Maharaj Pariksit was great devotee of Krishna, and Sukadeva Goswami was also a great saintly person and a great devotee of Krishna. Combined together to present Krishna Katha, they give great relief to suffering humanity. Anarto pasamam sakshat bhakti yogam adoksuje lokasya janato vidvans sakte satyavata satvata samhitam. The material miseries of the living entity, which are superfluous to him, can be directly mitigated by the linking process of devotional service. But the mass of people do not know this, and therefore the learned Vyasadeva compiled this Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, which is in relation to the Supreme Truth. Srimad Bhagavatam 1.7.6. People in general are unaware that the message of Srimad Bhagavatam can give all human society relief from the pangs of Kali Yuga. Kali Kalmasagna. Om Agyan Tigrandasya Kunandana Sabakaya. Saksu Om Niritan Devatas Naishi Parvaya. Sri Chaitanya Manodistam Tapitam Devadikaya. Swayam Rupa Padanayam Jagati Swa Padantapa. Vanchapalpa Pavitashta Sri Evata. Paritanam Pavarivyo Vaisnavivyo Namo Namaha. Maam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Vitale Srimati Krishna Krishna Vitale Maam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishna Vitale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachadine, Nirvisesa Sindhavadi, Paschatya Deshikana. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So again, I will read the verse translation. Sutta Goswami said, the son of Brigu, after Shukadeva Goswami, the most respectable devotee, the son of Vyasadeva, heard the pious questions of Maharaj Parikshit. He thanked the king with great respect. Then he began to discourse on topics concerning Krishna, which are the remedy of all sufferings in this age of Kali. So this verse is very, very important in this day and age. It says here, topics about Krishna is the remedy for all sufferings in this age of Kali. So we are almost finished with the pandemic. Truly a lot of people suffered, many died. Many have contracted virus and eventually are still sick now. And then we have the war of Ukraine and Russia. And seemingly it seems that the war in Ukraine will start World War III. Many are afraid. If we hear the stories about World War II, we will know that there is so much suffering during World War II because of karma. So in this day and age, almost majority of the human beings are born as Shudras, laborers, servants, and because of Kali Yuga, it also deteriorated into slavery. So the original Shudras, because of deterioration of Kali Yuga, Shudras are now regarded as slaves. In the Vedic culture, which ended during the start of Kali Yuga, or 5,000 years ago, before the Shudras are being protected by the higher levels of the society. Shudras who work for the Brahmins, the Kshatriyas and the Vaishyas, they are regarded as families. So in this day and age, because the Shudras are not protected by the higher levels of society, they are revolting. That's why there is the revolt of communism. So communism means the revolt of the masses, revolt of the Shudras, the laborers and the workers. So these are the calamities. So many diseases are there. The lifespan in the purport of Srila Prabhupada said that in Kali Yuga the lifespan has shortened. before the start of Kali Yuga, people were living for 1,000 years. And due to the degradation of the environment brought about by Kali Yuga, people now are expected to live for 100 years, but due to food culture, due to the polluted environment, polluted water, polluted air, the lifespan of the human beings in Kali Yuga, just the end of Kali Yuga, are expected to go down up to 30 years old. So right now, people are having a lot of diseases due to wrong diet, meat eating. So due to the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we became vegetarian. And higher than being vegetarian is Krishnatarian. We partake of the food called prasada, or mercy of the Supreme Lord. And just by eating, we are performing devotional service. So honoring prasadam is devotional service. But other aspects of Krishna consciousness is Krishna Katha, or discussion regarding the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. In Bhagavad Gita it is said that one who knows the nature of the disappearance and appearance of the Supreme Lord need not go back to this world. So by hearing topics about Krishna, this will somehow remedy the term Srila Prabhupada uses, panacea. It's quite not heard ordinarily in English speaking. So panacea means remedy or cure. English term to it, British. So medicine, panacea. Pero
May medicine na ganun.
sino first time na dinig yung panacea?
Panisaya.
Di ba? The word panacea is not an ordinary word. It is an English old word. Hindi na ginagamit sa conversation. So the synonym words are remedy or cure. So much sufferings are here in age of Kali, and the remedy is to hear and relish the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. And it is being described here that the speaker, Sutta Goswami, he was speaking in the place, and the pilgrimage place, Naimi Saranya. So this is the second time that the Srimad Bhagavatam is being spoken by Sutta Goswami, who is disciple of Sukadeva Goswami. So if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you might be confused that sometimes it is Sutta Goswami who is speaking, and sometimes it is directly Shukadeva Goswami. Those are two different saintly persons. So, if you read the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami was described as a teenage boy, 18 years old. And he was going around nude during the day. Because he is an abadu, he is renounced. He doesn't care about what other people say, and he is not affected by any external material environment. So he just go around naked, and there was a story about his father. Women are swimming in a pool. When they saw yesterday, they immediately covered. The women covered their clothes. But when they saw Sukadeva Goswami, they were not, hindi sila nahihiya. Mas nahihiya sila kasi si Lord Vyasadeva was a grihasta then. But when Sukadeva Goswami appeared, immediately the women did not panic. But when Vyasadeva came, who is the father of Shukadeva Goswami, the women panicked. Because it is said that women's body should only be seen by their would-be husband or their husband. That's the Vedic culture. So here it is being described that Suta Goswami is the son of Bhrigu. Bhrigu is a great Brahmin. He is the father of the fire sacrifice. He is the precursor of the fire sacrifice. So, it is being described by the verse that Parikshit Maharaj put forth many questions about life. So here it is explained that disciples should ask questions. Those who are studying the stories or studying the Vedic scriptures and trying to know what is and what not, what is to be done and not to be done, how to approach Krishna, how to attain perfection. The disciple or the student should ask meaningful questions. But actually, there's a saying that there's really no nonsense question. All questions are okay. That is if the speaker to whom you are questioning is knowledgeable. So even though seemingly the question may be a foolish one, but the one to whom you ask the question, he will not chastise the one who is asking the question. The one who will answer will still respect the question, respect the one who is inquiring. Although if you read Lilamrita, there are some experienced by Srila Prabhupada that there are challenging questions. But somehow Srila Prabhupada kept his cool and he answered nicely all the questions that were put forward in a challenging mood. So, devotees should learn that mood wherein in preaching there should be no place for anger. There's no place of being yung pikon. No matter how the challenging question is, one should respect the one who is quote-unquote asking the question. So, it is very important to hear and relish the pastimes of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. So one should read first the Krishna book if you haven't read the Srimad Bhagavatam from first canto to the 9th canto. So do not go to the 10th canto unless you have read the 9th canto, up to the 9th canto. But right now we are reading. There's no problem because although we are reading together, we can discuss in a nice way what is the purport of this verse. And Srila Prabhupada is always giving meaningful purport in this verse. So the suffering of the people of this age is termed as Kali Kalmasad Nam. And only Krishna consciousness can remedy this. So right now we see that we are happy in performing Krishna consciousness. Okay? We can smile, always smile. Before, you cannot smile because you don't know. Because of ignorance, you don't know what's happening in the world, what's happening to your life, and what should be the direction. But according to Srila Prabhupada, because of the practice of Krishna consciousness, the feature, the facade of the devotee, the one who is trying to practice, just trying to practice, the face of the practitioner becomes bright. Becomes very nice to look at. Pag lalaki, pumupogi. Pag babae, gumaganda. Mas gumaganda, mas pumupogi. Kasi, bakit? Kasi when you're a devotee, you're able to, when you hear about the topics of Krishna, instead of speaking or criticizing other persons who are doing, who are seemingly from your perspective is doing wrong. So we criticize. So instead of seeing ourselves who have the problem, we see others' problem. That's why in the Bible it said that before you take out the muta ng iba, alisin mo muna yung muta ng covering ng eyes mo so that you can clearly see, you can rightfully see the other persons whom you are criticizing but not trying to help. So devotee's mood becomes service. He wants to be service to other people who are trying to practice, not to put them down when they are doing wrong, seemingly doing wrong. but to help. That should be the mode of a devotee. To become a servant, to always offer service, not criticism. In that way, you will always be smiling. In that way, your heart will soften, will open up, and your heart will be clean from anxiety, from hankering, and lamentation. So we lament because negative things are happening to us. We lament because we did not get what we desire materially. We are lamenting because we lost something, material things which we think are very important in this life. But the most important thing is to learn about Krishna, the holy names, chant the Hare Krishna mantra always. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So chanting Hare Krishna, association with the devotees, hearing Krishna Katha or Krishna stories, and then being servant to others, not thinking oneself as the one to be served. So in spirituality, the more you advance in spirituality, the more you want to be servant to everyone. But in the material world, in the material existence, everyone wants to be the master. Everyone wants to be served. Isn't it? Galing tayo doon na. Because of false ego, I am. Because I am great, I am holy, I am knowledgeable, I am beautiful, I have money, so you should serve me. You should serve. That's the material life. The material life, we want to be master, but somehow we also want to be the servant of our dogs. So we choose to serve our dogs, our cats, our pets, rather than serving humanity. This is what's happening in this material world. That's why material world is very problematic. So let us always read, continue hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Bhagavad Gita, chanting Hare Krishna, avoiding offenses, avoiding criticism, and serving each other. That way, if people come, those who are seeking truth and peace, they come, they will see devotees who are loving each other, who are caring for each other, who wants to serve each other, then they will be attracted. And they will continue studying the practice of ISKCON, the practice of Hare Krishna movement, which was established by Srila Prabhupada. So let us be a very good quality example so that we can be an instrument of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, an instrument of Srila Prabhupada, an instrument of Lord Chaitanya, instrument of one's Guru. That is perfection. When we can only be close to Krishna when we share this divine knowledge to others. When we help those who are suffering in this material world due to the effect of Kali Yuga. So that's why Parikshit Maharaj asked so many very quality questions in order to know what he will do within the 7 days before he meets his death. So the greatest danger is when death comes. Are you ready to die? Prasad, are you ready to die?
Kapag nasa
Hindi pa.
forest, mas okay sa forest kaysa sa city. Kasi may maalala mo yung nakaraan mo sa city kaysa sa forest.
Ngayon, wala nang magandang forest eh. There's no more good forest where you can practice Vanaprast.
Aroseros, Rabutu.
Ha?
Aroseros, Manila.
May maliit na forest din eh, no? Kaya lang makakakita ka doon paminsan-minsan ng mga holding hands.
Nakita lang na
May mga ibon nagtutukan.
Eh, wala
May
eh.
aso-aso pa dun eh.
There was a Muni who was meditating underwater and he just saw 2 fish having sex. And because of that, he gave up his meditation and married 50 wives and had children, 100 children in every wife.
Fish pa lang yun, ha?
May pera pa yun.
Fish pa lang yun.
Fish pa lang yun.
He was old already and do not look foggy.
Pero bakit sila napubiyan sa...
But due to his mystic power, he was able to change his feature. He made himself foggy. He made himself a nice palace, a lot of nice housemates and katulong. And then he forgot about his meditation.
Fish lang.
Yeah, he just saw fish. And then you want to go to Aroseros?
Anak lang.
Marami nagtutukan.
So that is why the remedy is not to go to Vana or to the forest.
So there is no safe place.
The only safe place is where the devotees are. Because the devotees are always thinking of Krishna, are always discussing about the glories of Krishna, always chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, and they are always serving. That's why it's very nice. Every Sunday we see the devotees being very much busy in preparing prasadam for the not so unfortunate population of the Philippines. So that service to Srila Prabhupada, because Srila Prabhupada once said, when he saw several children who are hungry, and they were trying to dig in to the garbage. When Srila Prabhupada said, so that, Srila Prabhupada said, there should be no hungry human beings within a 2-mile radius.
I think that was in Hong Kong.
Sorry?
The place? Where
The place?
Oh, Srila Prabhupada.
Where? It's in India.
India?
Yeah. That's why after that, Srila Prabhupada had this Food for Life project. So everywhere the ISKCON devotees or Hare Krishna devotees are feeding a lot of unfortunate human beings. especially the children. So, the service of preparing prasad, packing the prasad, cooking, and going with the feeding are very auspicious and Krishna conscious activities. And these activities are joyfully performed. Sukha, happy, joy. Sukha, that's the Sanskrit of joy. These Krishna conscious activities are joyfully performed. So, continue our service to Srila Prabhupada, service to the Guru Parampara, service to Lord Chaitanya, and service to Lord Krishna. This is perfection of our life. And when this life is finished, if we have not reached perfection, we will just continue this devotional service in the next life.
Again.
If you have not perfected, understand? You have to go back unless you have 100%. So if you stop at 99% dahil nakakita ka nung sa Aroseros,
Lovebirds.
kailangan kang bumalik pa dahil na-agitate ka eh. So do not look at a woman with lust in your heart. Kasi at the time of death, that woman you will remember instead of Krishna.
Dapat pala ini-imagine.
Hindi lang women, even the women, if they have their husband, they should only think of their husband. They should only look at their husband. Who is not fallen. So may category yung husband na dapat you will regard as if he is the guru. So that saintly husband, wherever the husband goes, the wife goes.
So, the wife can go back to Godhead if the husband is not fallen.
If the husband goes back to Godhead, if the wife is 10% chaste to the husband who is saintly,
10%.
then they both, then they will both go back to the kingdom of God. Understand?
If the woman is 100% chaste to the man,
To the one who is what?
fallen, not fallen.
Saintly, fallen, or perfect?
The one who go back to Godhead.
Sabi ko na.
Ako, pupunta na rin. Okay. Hindi na check ko lang, Prabhu. Medyo na ano yung nabigla kasi ako sa
Kasi mabilis yung utak niya eh.
Okay.
Sabi ko lang, na wherever the husband, if the wife is 100% chaste to the husband who is saintly and qualified to go back to the kingdom of God, then the husband goes to the kingdom of God together with the 100% chaste woman.
Mali yung pandirinig ko kanina. I thought it was 10%.
100%?
100% pala. Alam ko 10%.
Meron kang may maya ka sa loob.
Kasi kung 10% chaste lang yung woman, ibig sabihin 90% she is looking at other men.
Yes.
Ha?
Not faithful enough.
Yung 100% talagang surrender siya sa husband niya who is practicing nicely.
Paano kung nanonood pa siya ng telenovela?
Saan pupunta yung nanonood ng telenovela?
Sa TV, nanonood sa TV.
Hindi. Sagutin mo yung question mo. Saan pupunta yung nanonood pa ng telenovela?
Dito ulit.
Sample. Probinsyana o probinsyano.
Hindi ko alam po, Frenchana. Wala nood.
Okay, attracted yung nanonood doon sa artista. Diba?
So, no provinciano.
So, kung saan pumunta yung artista, susunod yung nanonood.
Okay. Hindi, wala nood.
Kasi parang guru mo yung kon eh. The one you are being a fan of, diba, fan ako ni Kwan. Sino ba yung gwapong artista ngayon? Sa Amerika.
Brad
Si
Pitt.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
O, sabihin natin si Brad Pitt. Dating gwapo yun, matanda na, kaya pumapangit na.
Okay.
So, fan ako ni Brad Pitt. Ibig sabihin, I'm worshiping Brad Pitt. Instead of Krishna. Diba? So, saan ako pupunta? So, saan pupunta si Brad Pitt?
Sa New York? Or sa US na?
Eh, kung papunta sa head si Brad Pitt, di head ka rin.
Chick boy yun.
Naman. Kung super fan ka na isang tao.
So, ganun lang kasimple yun. Ganun lang kasimple. Whatever is the condition of your mind, your consciousness at the time of death, that condition you will attain without fail. O, ano sinabi ko, Prasad?
Whatever the condition of the mind, that's where the consciousness will go. Right?
O, di ba? Malinaw?
Naka-ready para.
So, kung ang consciousness mo ay sa husband mo, o sa wife mo, then, sasama ulit kayo ng wife mo, o husband mo. Di ba?
Kapag hindi siya saintly,
Oh,
Problema yun.
back na naman tayo sa tanong mo. Pag hindi safely, dito saan pumunta yung husband, kung 100% siya, di isama ulit sila ng husband niya.
100%.
Ngayon, kung fallen yung husband, pero yung wife is still chaste, miski na kumakaliwa yung husband, yung wife is still tolerating, at hindi siya kumakaliwa, then the wife will go to the heavenly planet.
ay, hindi Godhead.
Hindi Godhead. Bakit? Krishna conscious pa siya.
Paano kung fallen yung husband? Pero
Sandali, hindi mo pa sinagot yung tanong mo eh, na tinanong kita uli eh. Di ba? Paano magiging Godhead kung hindi 100% na Krishna conscious?
kasi fallen yung husband.
Kung fallen ang husband, sinasabi ngayon ni Srila Prabhupada, the wife should leave the husband and make Krishna as his husband. I heard that from Srila Prabhupada and my Gurudev. If your husband is fallen, ano ibig sabihin ng fallen husband? Hindi susupply ng needs ng family. One. Second, he is committing sex with other girls or women. Hindi siya vegetarian. Ibig sabihin, umiinom ng alak din, naninigarilyo. That's a fallen husband. So, sinasabi, the wife has the right to, ano yung right word?
Separate.
To separate, pero may mas magandang word eh.
Divorce.
Not necessarily divorce.
Disassociate.
Anyway,
To leave.
isa yun, pinaka-closest. To leave
Connected.
the husband.
But not divorce.
Pero nung Vedic times, walang nangyayari na gano'n. Kasi yung mga husband, miski fallen, yung fallen nila, hindi yung kagrabe ngayon. Ang fallen husband ngayon, binubugbog pa yung asawa. Di ba? Meron ganun.
Hindi alam.
Hindi po pwede yun. Sa Amerika nga, galing ka nga sa Amerika, di ba? Pag nambugbog ka na asawa, kuha ka, kulong ka. Kulong ka. So, suffering. So, sinasabi lang na family life, if Krishna is not the center, then it is suffering. So, choose the right wife, choose the right husband, so that you can practice Krishna consciousness in the family. And your children will be Krishna conscious also. And then, family life is perfect. That's the perfection of family life. Okay?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you rin sa kakulitan. Anyway, so thank you very much. Hare Krishna. May question.
Volume, madam. Mother, volume.
It's very important, especially in this age of Kali-yuga. So the question is, how is it possible that the leaders of the society, the whole world, will really have this enlightened people, who really have the panacea for the believers? How is it possible that the leaders should really have this enlightened people of sufferings? How they will relieve people? This is my young visitor. Just searching this. Because the sufferings in the Kali-yuga, people are really suffering. Yes, these Krishna consciousness movement are really teaching. But it should be the leaders of the society in the material world should have this. Education or Krishna consciousness. The leaders of Krishna consciousness, people will really be enlightened. How is it possible?
How is it possible to preach to the present leaders of the world? How can we share to them Krishna consciousness? Is that your question? To the leaders of the world? So that the panacea or the remedy to the suffering of Kali Yuga will be affected. Yung ba tanong mo, Mother? How? By being advanced, if devotees become advanced in Krishna consciousness, then they will be qualified to meet other material leaders. And this example was shown by our Gurudev. Right now, the best example is His Holiness Radhanath Swami. There are many videos in the YouTube where you can watch His Holiness Radhanath Swami meeting President Obama, meeting the Prime Minister of Great Britain. I also watched where Radhanath Swami spoke to the Parliament of Great Britain in London. So that's the possibility, Mother. If devotees become advanced enough so that they will meet the present material leaders of this world, then we can somehow tell them, these leaders, Krishna, about Krishna. So even, I don't know if Biden was already met by Radharaswami, but Radharaswami, His Holiness Radharaswami, has met so many leaders of the material world, even the CEOs of many companies. Our Srila Gurudev met President Marcos when President Marcos was still living. And they had a video. Our Gurudev also met Cardinal Sin. And there's a video on that. So this is the process. If the devotees become very much advanced, then they have the power to speak to other materialistic leaders of this world. Why? Because if you read Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, then you know everything. You can speak to any person and not be afraid that you will say any nonsense. The only fear of devotees is speaking to high society people is that they are afraid that they will say something wrong. But if you are seriously knowing the scripture, reading the scripture, hearing the spiritual masters, then you can speak to anyone. You can preach with panacea. Okay, Mother? Hindi ko narinig.
Louder, please.
Prabhu, ano ba? Actually, devotees are just trying to become Krishna conscious. If devotees are already Krishna conscious, then we will hear no more criticism. We will hear no more offenses. Huh? If we are truly Krishna conscious, then there will be no more fight, no more anger, no more envy. So real Krishna conscious persons are those who are beyond anger, greed, lust, and material desires. So right now, we are just trying to become Krishna conscious. We are just trying to become devotees. Actually. Yeah. It is predicted that the name of Krishna will be heard in every town and village. That means that many will become devotees because of this movement. But it can only be spread if each and every devotee now will become serious, humble, and knowledgeable. Then you can speak to anyone. Anyone you meet, you can speak of Krishna. That's the cure. Okay? Okay na? Thank you. Thank you for that very nice question. Tantra,
Wala naman tayo.
ganito na.
Meron pa. I heard Prabhupada said that Maya body, impersonalism, philosophy is very dangerous. Kaya naalala ko lang yung lecture sa kahapon siguro. Diba? They are not different from the Maya bodies. Impersonalism. So why Prabhupada said that's very dangerous?
Impersonalism is very dangerous because the philosophy of impersonalism is one, you can become God. Two, you commit spiritual suicide when you want to merge with God. Three, they are teaching that God is not a person. So, in a way, almost all the religions in this present day and age except Hare Krishna are impersonalists. Because they don't know Krishna as a person. Impersonal. Because they do not know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They consider him alike, just like many of the Buddhists. They want to merge with the light. So that's impersonalism. So impersonalism means you don't consider God as a person whom you can serve. The most important element of Krishna consciousness is service. Sanatan Dharma, service. Eternal Dharma is to become a servant of God. So aside from the Sanatan Dharma, then everything is impersonalism. Everything is impersonalism. Kamukha nun, alam ko, natatanda ako, tinanong mo yung lecturer sa Islam, is God a person? Masyadong challenging yung question na yun.
Hindi, kasi nagko-coach siya ng Allah said this, Allah said that. So, paano masasabi ni Allah yung ganito, kung, di ba?
Kung ako yun siya, isasagot ka naman, Allah spoke to his representative, Muhammad. Kaya lang, sinagot niya kagad yung God cannot be a person because it lowers the quality of God. But in our philosophy, we consider Krishna as a person, but the Supreme Person.
Follow up ni
Sige.
Kasi, paano mag-preach kung hindi magiging humble sila? Diba? Paano niya ito?
Sandali. Mukhang out of line yung question. Paano makakapag-preach kung hindi humble si God? Humble ba siya? Hindi. Iba si Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is in the garb of a devotee. Covered siya nung eternal potency para he is in the guise. This guise lang siya as a devotee. Because in this present day and age, he cannot act as Krishna. He cannot just kill all the demons. Wala nang matitira as human beings here. It becomes as Lord Krishna with the supreme power and everything.
So this guys,
Oo. So, kamukha nun, kasi nagalit na si Lord Chaitanya dahil nasugatan si Lord Nityananda. So, magagalit lang si Lord Chaitanya kapag ino-offend yung devotees. So, nagalit siya. Handa na niyang bakuhin ng chakra yung magkapatid, di ba? So, God cannot be humble. Pero si Lord Chaitanya is disguised as a devotee. So, he should act as a humble devotee. Kaya nga nung sinabi nung si Prakasyananda Sarasvati, yung isang pandit, na personalist, tinatanong siya, why are you chanting and dancing like a madman? Ano sagot ni Lord Chaitanya? Because I'm a fool. So, pinakikita ni Lord Chaitanya na ang devotee is humble. He considers when a very highly advanced devotee is already there, he don't consider himself as the master or he don't consider himself as advanced. He considers himself as the lowest. So, yung mood ni Lord Chaitanya is as a devotee. But Krishna himself cannot act humbly because he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His form is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not the form of Lord Chaitanya. So, kung ang tanong mo, bakit si Lord Chaitanya humble? Ang tanong mo, si Krishna, bakit di siya nag-humble para mag-preach? Diba? Ganun yung line of question mo. That's an improper question because Krishna cannot be humble. Okay? Yeah, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he took the mood of Srimad Radharani. Oh. Ano mga labo doon? So, kung tinig niya yung mood ni Radharani, di humble talaga siya dapat. But because we are devotees and read Chaitanya Charitamrita, we don't consider Lord Chaitanya as a lower entity. We still consider him as Lord Krishna, who came here to start the Hare Krishna chanting. And he wants to know the mood of Srimati Radharani as a devotee. And it manifested when just hearing pastimes of Lord Krishna, bigla na lang siyang tutumba in ecstasy. Diba? Pero to say that Krishna should be humble, that's a no-no. Kaya tinigil ko agad yung question niya. Hindi naman. Don't say sorry. It's alright. Kasi hindi lang naman ikaw nag-iisip ng gano'n. Hindi, talagang makikinig ka doon sa salita nila, sana hindi ito makita. Dapat hindi nag-mention ng kung lang. Huwag ka mag-mention ng direct name. Para kung sakali, mapanood nila ito, hindi yung ma-offend sila. So anyway, yung lecture ng Muslim, tapos, yung question nga ni Sampradaya, yung tungkol doon sa if Krishna is a person, if God is a person. Instantly, alam ko naman yung philosophy nila na Allah is the highest, but they do not know what is the quality of God. But we know that God is a person, but He is the supreme person. So, Krishna is the supreme person, but Lord Chaitanya is in the guise of a devotee. Ang question mo, si Lord Krishna agad yung tinatanong mo, diba? How can we preach if Krishna is not humble? That's a no-no.
Sanay kasi ako tawagin first Christian.
Many Christians believe that Jesus Christ is God. Because of the saying that I and the Father is one.
Are one.
That's because of that way, many Christians believe that Jesus Christ is the supreme person.
But do not mention.
But Jesus Christ was slain on the cross. So happened with God. Is that the quality of God?
Jesus Christ was questioned by his disciples, when is the end of the world? So Jesus Christ said, only the Father knows. No one knows. Even the Son doesn't know. So how can he be God if he doesn't know the answer to the question? So the phrase which Jesus Christ said, the Father and I are one, iba yung tinutukoy nun. The Father are one in spirit. We are both spirit. The Father and I are one in our desire to save the human beings, to save the Jews. Yun yung pakikisa. So, tinuloy pa yun ni Jesus Christ. As you and I are one, let them also be one with us. So, ibig sabihin ba, magiging God tayo kung maging one tayo with the Father. So, kung sasabihin kung kayo nagpipreach sa Christian, and sinasahit nila na Diyos nga si Jesus Christ, ang una niyang itanong, nung tinatanong si Jesus Christ as kung kailan ang the end of the world, and in sabi ni Jesus Christ, only the Father knows. Even the Son doesn't know. Eh, ang definition ng God, one who knows past, present, and future. Trikalagyan sa Sanskrit.
Never mention of like this.
Yeah, he never mentioned that he is God. Pero sinabi niya, the Father and I are one.
Parang
So-
isipin mo na kung tayong mga ano lang ang tanong, inisip parehas lang sila ng Diyos. Pero iba yung
Hindi, kaya nga, yun ang ginagamit ng mga Catholic
Para sabihin
na Diyos si Jesus Christ. Di ba? Kaya nga ang pang-block ko sa ganon, nung tinanong si Jesus Christ, hindi niya alam. Yun ang best na sagot. Ngayon, tsaka mo kayo sasagot na, doon sa Bible na yun, sinabi rin, as you and I are one, let them also be one with us. Ibig sabihin, magiging Diyos din tayo. Diba?
kasi galit. Ang pagkakalam natin, galit tayo sa Diyos.
Hindi, kaya nga. Kasi sinabi ni Jesus Christ, the Father and I are one. Pero kinilin na yun. May kinulot siya. As you and I are one, let them also be one with us. So, kung God si Jesus Christ, magiging God din tayo. Impossible. Diba? So, yun yun. So, susunod mo naman sasabihin, ang pagiging one nila is they are both spirit. We are a small spirit. God is the biggest spirit. Tsaka, pag one na tayo, yung desire ng God is also my desire. Yun, ganun lang. Patay na yung kanilang philosophy. Kasi ginawa nila ng Diyos si Jesus Christ dahil nga doon. Pero ang daming pambara doon. Nung si Jesus Christ is suffering in the cross, sabi ni Jesus Christ, Father, Father, why have you forsaken me? See? If you're God, why will you call somebody else? Tapos isasagot nila, kasi maakto siyang tao. Ha? Eh di dapat sinabi na lang niya, worship me because I'm God. I'm God. Ngayon sasabihin nila, oh, worship me because I'm Son of God. Pero hindi sinabi ni Jesus Christ na, never na sinabi ni Jesus Christ na worship me. Sinasabi niya, worship the Father. So, malinaw. Kaya-kaya nating i-defeat yung kanilang philosophy. Ngayon, ano yung Holy Spirit? Di-explain natin, may katumbas kami ng Holy Spirit. Ang Holy Spirit are also expansion of God. Para mangyari yung sinasabing God is omnipresent. God is present even in the smallest atom. Wala sa Bible yun. Pero nasa Upanishads. May pala? Okay na. Prabhu.
Hindi naman yung mga question ng mga Christian na natin o Christian na person. You don't understand about speaking the Bible. Kasi yung prayer ni Jesus Christ na nakalulod siya, Our Father who art in heaven, doon mo lang naiintindihan yung mag-pinig na sa kanya. Yung teaching, same, teaching are one, but the person is involved. Kaya yun hindi nila ma-get yung clear na pinagsabi, I'm the Son of God.
I came here to do the will of God.
So in the Muslim, actually, person, yung God is a person. So we cannot perceive with our material senses. We cannot understand God. So naka-develop to understand this. I-develop lang our institution. We are being servant of God. Yun yung constitutional belief natin to understand na God is a person.
Pag binasa mo yung Bible, at seryoso ka, what you learn from the Bible is to become good in the mode of goodness. But somehow the Bible was nagtagbawas.
Parable kasi yung
Hindi, biskin na parable. Maintindihan mo pa rin yung parable. Kaya lang inalis yung pagiging vegetarian.
Ni-revise ng ni-revise eh.
Kaya nga, inalis din yung reincarnation. So, wala sila yung principle na you are responsible for your actions. Wala sila gano'n. Ang kanilang philosophy is magsisi ka, humingi ka ng tawad, at patatawarin ka. Just accept Jesus Christ in your heart, and then you will be forgiven. Wala sila yung principle ng action-reaction. So they are not responsible for their actions. Hindi, kaya nga, the Bible is not enough, if you read it, to learn to understand God. Kasi even in the Bible, there's no one who was able to see God. Even Moses saw a burning bush.
That's the spirit.
Diba? So only in Srimad Bhagavatam you can understand God. That's why dito sa pinasa lang natin, ang cure sa human suffering is what? Krishna consciousness. Diba? Gantaraj Bhagavad Gita Kini.
Die.
Gantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Kini. Sila Radhanada Sita. Sila Prabhupada Sita. Mitadora Tumidora. Magaganda yung tanong.